Still on the news, the former chairman of Nigeria's electoral body, INEC, Professor Atahiru Jega, says the country's democracy is under imminent and significant threat owing to the activities of politicians who are bent on undermining the electoral process to suit them. This is the submission of the former electoral chief at a stakeholders workshop in Abuja as part of the Watching the Vote election series, an event organized by the Youth Initiative for Advocacy, Growth and Enhancement. Professor Jega says the desperate tendencies of Nigerian politicians to achieve their aim make them go the whole distance to employ various means that ultimately undermine the integrity of the elections.
It is not in the interest of those who want to win election by do-or-die mentality or mindsets. And why do they want to win elections with that mindset and mentality? It's simple, so that they can continue with the recklessness of vandalizing state resources and obviously impugning on the fundamental rights of people and undermining the processes of development that can provide human security.
Professor Jega also says it is an issue that may require heading to court to check the seeming impunity of the National Assembly.
Both the INEC and the independent citizens have been reluctant to go to court to seek for a judicial interpretation of constitutional provisions. And this is significant because really it touches the independence of an election management body. They have already made public a sequence of election, and suddenly some people now want to change it.
Other panelists say the amendment of the election sequence is not a good idea.
Ahead of the 2011 elections, and Chief Nwayawu that is seated here provided the greatest jurisprudence to the body of law in 2013 with the 2010 Electoral Act, really. In fact, it went to Justice Kolawole when they came and raised this issue of sequencing of elections, and they lost at that level.
We must develop the process. We want as many people. If you get to the National Assembly, you don't have more than 3 parties. It is not good. You don't have more than 3 parties, 3 or 4 parties, when you're having 80-something. We want a situation whereby there will be no impunity of any political party, either in the National Assembly or State House of Assembly.
In the meantime, the Independent National Electoral Commission has declared its readiness to ensure that the outcome of the 2019 general elections reflect the views of Nigerians. The resident electoral commissioner in Oyo State, Barrister Mutiu Abuke, who gave the assurance in Ibadan at a seminar on the danger of hate speeches in the polity organized by the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Oyo State Command, said the commission has purged itself of some bad eggs.
So go and test your popularity. And I want to say this here, by way of emphasis, I can assure you nobody, and that's the commitment of INEC towards 2019, nobody will mount or occupy public office towards 2019 except through the power of balloting.
Speaking in the same vein, the Commissioner of Police in the state, Abiodun Odude, who was represented by the Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of operations, Chinedu Oko, cautioned politicians against recruiting thugs.
By causing problems, and they also do their own. And they do their own. National Orientation Agency, start now to do their own. If everybody plays this one go well, these things will move fine.
In these separate remarks, the Commandant of Oyo State Command of Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, John Oyedokun, and the guest speaker of the event, Nathaniel Danjibo, stressed the need for more enlightenment on the danger of hate speeches.
We are aware that in Nigeria, when general election is coming like this, and INEC is leading embargo on campaign, our politicians always go haywire. And Ibadan, be the capital city, the largest city, and the natural capital of Yoruba land, where things used to start. That's why we call us Pacesetter.
They have a lot to do. I mean, it's not something you can control, but it's something that you can work toward controlling. I mean, you can't say people from one street should not say what they want to say. But you will be able to, like I said, raise a national consciousness. This nation, will do us a lot more good if we are together than fragment, because some people are using the medium of hate speeches to convey whatever interest that they have.
Still in politics, the crisis rocking the People's Democratic Party, PDP, may not be over anytime soon, as the Lagos West Caucus of the party passed a vote of no confidence on its state chairman, Moshood Salvador. The vote is coming on the grounds of alleged misconduct and anti-party activities by the state chairman. Speaking to Galaxy News at the caucus meeting held in Lagos on Thursday, the Lagos West chairman of the party, Babatunde Agbaje, said the party chairman has derailed from the gentleman agreement of the party, which produced him as the state chairman.
It's a very difficult meeting, and the fact is that there are crises in PDP, but that does not mean that we should not do our meeting. That is, we called the meeting in order to inform our people about the position of the party, what is going on in the party, and we don't want anybody to defect to another party, APC or something like that.
Other stakeholders present at the meeting also expressed their grievances that led them to taking such decision.
Have just been passed on the present chairman that he should leave as a chairman because of his high-handedness, disloyalty to the party leadership, and abrupt, gross impunity of the party.
We shall reconcile ourselves once Salvador has been thrown out of the office. We want decent and honest people.
On the chances of the party in the 2019 general elections, the party faithful expressed optimism on delivering the state irrespective of their present differences.
It's not factionalizing. We are operating as one, but the fact remains that we have a template of 65-35 for sharing, for harmonization of the elective offices at the party level. But this so-called chairman just came up, model up everything, multiply, subtract, and add, contrary to the agreement reached by the two sides of the party.
Now, away from that, eminent Nigerians, traditional rulers, academia, and politicians gathered in Lagos to celebrate African heritage. Among the dignitaries were the Ooni of Ife, King Jaja of Okpobo, Oba of Benin, Ata of Igala, among others. The National President, Genetic Society of Nigeria, Professor E.H. Kwandong, who spoke on the origin of Africans, said the evolutionary tree of the world started in Africa. Also delivering his paper, Professor Joseph Agbakoba from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, UNN, emphasized on the history and language as an important tool to rewrite African history.
And then how was it working? Scientists got large samples of human DNA and they used them for mapping to find where on the genome certain genes, like those for certain diseases, can most likely be found. What is the significance of this study to all of us? First, it teaches us the origin and evolution of humans and how they continue to evolve. Because evolution is said to be continuous.
Replacement of identities, replacement of economic conditions, replacement of personalities. You need to know yourself very well in order to be able to know how you adapt and direct all our energies and our culture and our experiences in order to be able to cope better in the contemporary world. We cannot throw away some of the things that have come to us, modernity and Christianity and Islam, but it's our duty to combine these things in the best possible ways with our tradition for our well-being.
In his remark, Ooni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, called for Africans to speak with one voice and put aside differences, while King Jaja of Okpobo, King Douglas Jaja V, was elated about the gathering, saying our people are taking the bull by the horn and their destiny in their hands.
We have a lot of similarity in our culture, in our heritage, and in our tradition. Let us put supremacy aside. We have common ancestral background. We have common ancestors. It is very evident. United we stand, divided we fall.
This is the best thing that we're doing now to promote our culture, promote homogeneity, to try as much as possible to say that we've come of age and that we can do things for ourselves.
The keynote speaker, Prince Jos Plateau, and the Western academians say they are biased in the way they view Africa and have misinterpreted our history.
But well, if your God said, why doesn't your God create your own land for you? Why does it have to be my land? Why do I have to go for slavery, for colonization? And it keeps on going. But the only way we can break this is if we understand as original Africans that we come from one source, we have one culture, and we have one aspiration, which is just to live free.
Moving on, calm has returned to Ofani Jagbo communities after nearly 24 hours of crisis of destruction of properties and wounding of military personnel. Despite the return of peace, the two communities still share blames on who attacked first, while both are still claiming ownership of the disputed area. Nearly 10 vehicles damaged with windscreen smashed, and the patrol station, together with a car owner, lament their losses.
So I run, park my motor here. So run to this one of our shop there. So after that, we ran inside Jagbo, we just see bullets. So later, my son now called me and say, "Mommy, they have spoiled our motor." I say, "Don't go there, just leave them." So later, when I came back here, so I saw the motor. They have spoiled everything.
We were all here, maybe around 11 or so. At about 11 or so, we had gunshot. And everybody, those that were there, they were running down here. I have to run for my own life.
The representatives of OFA, while apportioning blames on Ijagbo, noted that several meetings called to demarcate the boundary between the two did not yield positive results, as Ijagbo people refused to turn up.
I received a letter from the principal that the school lands is being encroached. There and then a committee was set up. At that meeting, we agreed that 4 surveyors from Ijagbo and 4 surveyors from OFA should look into the boundary of the schools. After then, we agreed that there should be demarcations. We erected the pillars, assuming today that pillars was destroyed overnight. The second day, we heard that the report that some buildings were demolished.
The Ijagbo people on their part accuse OFA of deliberately wanting to take over Ijagbo land, despite that the issue is still pending in court.
We reported to the Olofa of OFA. We went to his palace more than 4 times. In fact, my name is boldly written there. There was one chief of staff we met. He said the Olofa traveled. And that was the first attempt we made done. So, our people now reacted that enough is enough.
More stories coming up after this break. Do stay with us.